anyway, we'll start kind of chatting through it. We are going to snatch today. Press my record button. Record normal. We are going to snatch today. Kind of same again. If you see my little post up, I might get you to kind of weight up your delts if you can, just to try challenge yourselves. Or challenge the muscle groups that are kind of working. Obviously, we're going to warm up. We're going to hold all our snatch positions that we have been kind of practicing. We'll go through it once. We'll have a couple of goes of that. We are going to do some stotz pressing again, and that's the one I kind of majorly want you to weight up. But if you can weight up that dale after the warm up, I'll give you that 1 or 2 minutes to do that. And we're going to do some stotz press, and then we're going to challenge ourselves with that Scaldi single arm overhead squat. All right. Before we kind of get going, kind of same as I have been saying in all of them, like don't force a position comes. So like even on the overhead squat, single arm overhead squat at the end, don't force yourself to look for depth, just work where you can. But I will kind of creep one thing now into the warm up. Remember, the more you shrug up or reach up into your shoulders, the more clearance you're going to have above your head for that single arm overhead squat, or if it was just an overhead squat. So the more, you can shrug and elevate your shoulder, you're going to clear more space to keep it behind your head. So we're going to actually add a tiny little bit of that into the warm-up. So for the warm-up, you're just going to need your dales. I will also want you to have your weights kind of next to you. If you have your dumbbell, kettlebell, or that, nothing kind of too heavy, but we will have that kind of out as well. All right. Carly, you there?
I am. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my laptop on.
I just thought we were just looking at the sky. I was just like, I don't know if you're down. All right, guys, so just going to start warming up. Just grab your dales first. Let's just warm up our shoulders. All right. So just grab your delt nice and wide. Same as always, I just want 10 pass throughs. So just wrap it all the way around and just get that little stretch through the shoulder. Lovely. Once you've done 10, guys, just place that down on the ground just for now. Just set yourself up in your squat stance then. And I just want you to give me 5 air squats just to get the legs moving. My legs are still stiff from Cindy on the weekend. Now, once you've done your 5, all right, I'm going to get you to get your weight up. And this is just something that I want you to kind of strengthen, but then also it's massively to be aware when you go above your head for your snatch, your overhead squat, is to elevate that shoulder. So all I want you to do is get your weight, whatever it is. I'm just going to lock it out and press it up. And all I'm going to do, if you're looking at my shoulder, is just give me 5 shrugs. And I'm going to try to get as much movement as I can. I'm going to go straight up as high as I can, back down. And every time I go up, if you're looking at my shoulder bar, every time I go up, I'm going to try to get it back behind my head. So it's up and back for 5. All right, I want 5 on the left and 5 on the right. All right. And get as much movement as you can. Over-exaggerate the feck out of it. Reach up into the ceiling. And then always think every time you reach up, how far can I kind of creep that back behind my head? Just shrugging, just through the shoulder, no bending in the arms. And as you do that, kind of think about the kind of your traps, kind of your upper back, those kind of muscles. Once you've done 5 and 5, guys, place that down. We're just going to go back on our delts. We'll go through that again. Back on the delts. I want you to give me, same as always, your 10 pass-throughs again, where every 2 repetitions, try to get your hands closer now. All right. So we'll go with me. 1 and 2. And as well, if you're good and golden, just creep the hands in a centimeter just to challenge yourself. 3 and 4. Same again. Creep them in a tiny bit. Beautiful. And 5, 6. If that's getting tough, you don't have to bring them in, but if you can, you bring them in again. 7, 8, and last set again, only if you want to creep them in. 9 and 10, and leave your hands where they are. All right. I want you to give me 5 overhead squats now with the dell. All right. Quickly looking at me. I know it's just simple. I know it's just a dell. Have this on the back of the neck. Press it straight up. I'm being aware of where this is and where my torso is. As I squat down, I don't want to drop my chest. I'm fighting to be as upright as I possibly can. All right, just give me 5 overhead squats and make sure you're shrugging up into that dell for 5 reps. Kind of go a little bit side on if you can to the camera, just so I can watch. Beautiful. Lovely. And the eyes are up, you puff the chest up, you don't look down. Because a quick one with this, if you ever look down with weightlifting, your head actually weighs a certain, it's actually quite heavy. If you look down when you snatch, It's all about a balance kind of thing. You'll end up being on your toes and you'll drop it. I've done it millions of times. Let's go back on our weight again. I want you to give me those same 5 shrugs. So again, lock it out, shrug up as high as you can and back down. And to get it as back behind your head. So if you're looking at me, just do this one. I'm going to shrug up and then back. Going to get a little bit of range above my head. And also that is actually kind of getting your shoulder blade kind of moving a little bit. You're trying to get it to glide on the back of the rib cage. Beautiful. All right, guys, we're going to keep warming up, but we are just going to practice some stuff now. All right. And we have done this before with our snatch. And again, we're just going to practice your positions and hold them. I'm just going to have a quick run through of them all now. So make sure you're watching. We're going to hold every position for about 15 seconds. All right. Most of us should notice now it's a little bit of a burner. So I'm going to have my delt. I'm going to get my snatch grip, so my wide set grip on it. I'm going to have my hook grip on as well. And I'm going to come down to my setup. When I come down to my setup, the weight is slightly preference back towards my heels. All right. I'm lifting my chest up. I'm looking directly forward. I'm going to say knees. All I'm doing is pushing my legs into the floor, and you're going to pause at your knees. And then my back angle stays exactly the same. It doesn't really change. I'm not letting my bum come up. I'm not lifting my chest too fast. All I'm doing is just coming up a couple of inches. Hardest bit, most important bit then is I'm just going to say hips. And you're going to slide this all the way up towards your hips. Legs are still a little bit bent. I'm completely over the dell or your bar because I'm just scooping it in towards my hips. All right. From here then, I'm going to say high pull. And you're going to come up on your toes, hold this up as high as you can, and balance. So I'm on my tippy toes. We're going to hold it here. All right. Elbows trying to be above, not pointed behind. Try to get them above if you can. I'll say catch. And you're just going to try to drop into the best overhead squat that you can. You don't have to go to rock bottom. Just catch it where your torso is upright. Hold that there for a couple of seconds, and then I'll say stand. All right. We'll have 1 or 2 goes at this. All right. I'm going to talk you through it. Each position is 15 seconds. I'm out of breath. 15-second hold. All right. So get my clock going. Yeah. Just let Carly put on her shoes, guys. Just give it a second. So remember, set up, knees, hips. Hips the most crucial bit. Try to stay over. High pull. Try to find your balance. Catch in the most upright position you can. Like even if you're feeling stiff, like I feel kind of stiff today, if I went down to rock bottom, I'm actually just going to drop my chest. So be in the most upright position you can, and then we'll stand up once we're finished. So if we can, guys, everybody down to your setup. 3, 2, 1, and down to your setup. And we're holding all these positions. Lovely, everyone's side onto the camera. And yes, this is going to be a bit of a leg burner. Eyes up, so we're not looking down. Everybody pull the shoulder blades back a little bit. And everybody can fight for those extra couple of centimeters. Yes, it's a bit of a leg burner. And we're going to come up to the knees now. Everyone up at your kneecaps. So just slightly above your kneecaps. Right? Big proud chest. Weight is slightly preference towards the heels. Everyone puff the chest up a bit more and pull your shoulder blades back. You can always fight for centimeters in these movements. It's the hard bit now. Up to the hips and stay over the barbell. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Carly, bend over just a smidge for me. Just yet. Perfect. Just hold it there. Yeah. Lovely, gang. Couple more seconds. Now we're going to come up on our toes, up onto our tippy toes and high pull. We're up and we're high pulling. Bend the elbows, pull this as high as we can. Find that balance. You are on your tippy toes. I know it's tough. Now when I say go, you're going to drop into the bottom of the best overhead squat you can be in 3, 2, 1, and go. And then hold. But don't fight it. Wherever you are, just hold it. All right? Yes, it's leg burner. All right. Can everybody look up a bit more? Can everybody lift up your chest for a centimeter as if you're trying to puff it up? And everybody shrug up into that bar like we did with our weights in our warm-up. So press up as high as we can and stand up. Lovely. And relax. All right. Yes, that's obviously a bit of a burner on the legs, and it will be. We're going to do 1 or 2 more goes with that. Again, as we kind of go through it, I'm going to keep talking through it. Good way to practice your positions. I might talk obviously about the weight on your feet or where you're working. Try to feel them out. All right. So try to feel like the rock and the balance. I always like to do this one really quickly. If we're all just standing up, and everybody literally just rock forward like this now, just tilt forward, standing upright. If you feel that your toes are hugging the ground and you're kind of squeezing the ground, that's bad for weightlifting. Rock back then towards your heels. That's where mostly we're going to preference our weight. Make sure your toes are on the ground now. but most of the time I'm going to be sitting back here. My foot is fully in contact. I'm not going to fall over, but that's where I want you to kind of feel. You will feel your weight go forward and back. Yes, when we're on our tippy toes, we're going to be there, but just try to feel out the balance of your feet. So guys, we're going to go in for another set of that. All right. So get yourself ready down to our setup. And again, for the setup, puff the chest up. All right. 3, 2, 1. And we are down in the setup. All right. Lovely. Eyes are up. And again, shoulder blades are pulled back. All right. Always think nice, tight upper back. Pick a point on the wall. Glue your eyes on it. All right. Ignore everything else that's going around. All right. And we're going up to the knees. And technically, we're just squatting it up a little bit. We're lifting the chest. We're nice and proud. And we're still keeping those shoulder blades pulled back. You have a little bit more preference back on your heel now. All right. Kind of like that little rock thing we just did. Crucial bit now. Stay over the barbell as we come up to the hips. And we're up at the hips now. And ask yourself now, when we're doing this, where's the weight on your feet? You should feel slightly preference towards your heel. If we were doing this now, I'd say jump. If you were snatching it, we'd be doing a box jump and you're loaded and you're ready and your legs are ready to go. Up and high pull, and we're up to our balance point. So we're up, we're holding that. Yes, this is tough. You're trying to find balance. This is where you would jump or extend your body. All right, a couple more seconds. And again, we're going to catch it in the most upright position that you can. And 3, 2, 1, drop. Lovely. And hold it there. And don't budge from wherever you are. Where everyone is, can everybody come up in height 1 centimeter? Just come up a tiny bit. Yeah, now you'll probably feel the legs are working even more. You're not relaxed in the bottom. There's tension on those legs. Shrug up as high as you can. Lovely. And then stand up and relax. Lovely. We're going to do this one more time. All right. This is really obviously getting us warm. I'm going to do a little bit of a challenge here because I really, really want you to feel it, because when you snatch or when you do weights, you never get to see what you're doing. And there is this kind of thing. It's like proprioception. You will just kind of naturally do it. So when I go to snatch a barbell, I don't really think about it anymore. I just think something like jump, or I'm thinking my arms. I think about the smallest things, but it takes a bit of time to kind of get that. We're going to do it again. This is going to be tough. All right. We're going to do 10-second holds. So I'll shorten it. Your eyes have to be closed the entire way through. All right. And I want you to feel your balance on your feet. Obviously, if you open your eyes, I don't care, but it's just that little bit of a challenge. Feel the balance on your feet. And can you actually know where you're meant to be without having to look around the room? So focus on your balance, focus on what muscle groups are working. Obviously, you feel your legs. Even with the Dale, can you feel that upper back? Can you feel your shoulder blades being pinched? All right. One more quick set, about 10-second holds, eyes are closed. All right. Here we go. So I'll count you in 3, down to our setup, 2, 1, and our eyes are closed. All right. And just feel it out now. You feel balanced on your feet. You feel upright. Even like, I know your eyes are closed, but still preference your head to look up. All right. Up to the knees. As you come up to your knees, you slightly shift your weight back towards your heels. And again, you still should be upright. Lift the chest. Keep the shoulder blades pinned back. Up to the hips. We're scooping and sliding it up our legs, and we're still preference back towards our heels. Imagine now if I said we're doing box jumps, you feel like you're ready to just jump and explode up. Hard one. Up and high pull and balance. Keep that balance now, still with the eyes closed. It's okay if they open up, but try to keep that balance. The hard one now, we're going to drop in the most upright position that you can in 3, 2, 1, and drop. Hold. You remember here, do you feel now, this is a weird question to ask, do you feel like that dowel is centered above your ankles or your heels? And you should feel that connectivity going down through your whole body. And 3, 2, 1, stand and relax. Lovely. That feel weird? Did anyone feel their feet constantly adjusting on the ground? Yay, maybe, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, guys, that's us kind of warmed up a little bit. All right. Now we only have a couple of things left to do, but I do want you to try to challenge yourself as best as we possibly can. So I'm going to give you a minute or two, and kind of like we did before, I do want you to try weight stuff up if you can, right? Because I know most of us only have our dowels. So if you have your dowel, we are going to do our Stotts press now, which is our snatch grip press. Jenny, I feel like you came prepared today.
Absolutely so prepared. The wonders of Paddy not doing the class. I have 2 dowels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you can, I want you to try challenge yourself. So if you have a heavier dowel or a heavier barbell, we're going to try to do it heavier. If you don't, and if you have some sellotape and you sellotape something on, I want this dowel to be just minimally heavier than we did. And we all know this. Even if we just do this exercise with the dowel in a minute, we all know it's actually still tough. All right. So I'm going to give you a minute just to get yourself set. and then I'm going to go through it. And we are going to do our Stotts press, the hardest fucking press you can do with a dowel. Anna, you have your barbell, don't you?
Yeah.
Lovely. She's very. Shaz, you know little weights you can bang on, no?
No, I struggle with just the dowel, to be honest.
That's okay. Trust me, the dowel's tough. That, like, it's mad. It's mad when you think about how heavy that fucking dowel can get. Like, lovely. I'm just going to go through the exercise really quickly. I'm just going to do a little quick demo and just show you what we're looking to do. Again, remember when we had the weights earlier and we were shrugging up? Think about your shoulder blades. You're trying to actually get them moving and shrugging up, all right? And you're going to have them pinched in. That's majorly what you're trying to work. All right? Your legs might feel it a little bit just because you're in the bottom of a squat. Or not a full depth squat, but you might still feel your legs, but upper back and shoulders is what you're trying to do. So as I do this, remember the goal is not to be in the rock bottom of a squat if you're dropping your chest angle. So if I'm setting myself up, I'm gonna get my snatch grip on this, place it on the back of my neck. I'm gonna set myself up in my squat stance. Looking at my elbows, I'm pulling my elbows underneath this. Don't have them pointed behind you because it kind of rounds you over, because this is a positional type exercise. So elbows are underneath. I'm going to squat down to the most upright position that I feel like I could be in. I don't want to go down so low that I'm bending over. Right now, I'm in the bottom of the squat. I'm trying to press this. It's not going to work. I'm going to come up and have a bit of tension on my legs. All right, puffing on my chest. I'm just going to press straight up and back down. All right. As I do this, I don't want to see this on a side view. All right. So look at this now. Where am I pressing this? I'm pressing this out in front. That is not where I'm going to try catch a snatch. I don't want to see this, where I'm just pressing it back behind me. I want straight up and straight back down. And as we lock it out, I want you to think, shrug up as high as you can. Press up into this, all right? The depth-wise, if you find this challenging, just really quickly before we get going, don't look to go rock bottom. It's okay to just be kind of in a power position and still press. The important bit for this is see how upright my torso is. I don't want any forward lean. I want you in the most upright position you can be. So don't look for depth. In the long run, you'll actually come out better by not going full depth. All right. So what I want is 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Do 10. Take about 30 seconds rest. I'm going to do 3 sets total. Go. You do them, and I'm just going to watch it if I see it. Good or bad. Make sure it's your snatch grip. Nice, Jenny boys. Nice, Anna. And feel the muscles work. Eyes are glued forward. You have a point on the wall. Carly, so as you lock that out, I want you to keep that as far back behind your head as you can. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, straight up. Good woman. Perfect. Lovely. So guys, once you do your set of 10, just have about 30 seconds and we're going to go again. I love the way you've it. Jackie, is that cable ties? Yes. Cable tying the little dumbbells.
Zip ties. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Yeah. Jackie, just actually as well on your last one, I feel like you could go for a little bit more depth. You're quite mobile. So in your next set, just go a little bit lower. Not by loads, but try to challenge yourself a little bit. All right. So whenever you want, guys, up to you. Second set. And again, this is a positional exercise. You're trying to train your body to be comfortable in the bottom about catching a snatch. Nice, Shaz. Keep that a little bit back behind your head at the top, though. Just fight for a centimeter further back. So when you lock it out. Exactly. That's miles better. And even if you look back in this video, I'm going to post it later, you'll see that minimal change from when I said that to that. So remember, look back on your second set. Miles better. Much better, Jackie. Better depth. Perfect, Carly.
Even the difference last week.
Yeah, the more you do of the, I know they're kind of weird exercises. The more you do of them, like you do get a lot of benefits from doing them. So actually, I'll post this later on Waterfly, and I'll put it under like a little weightlifting tab. You'll see if you change it from CrossFit, you'll see like weightlifting. Just look at the video, but you can go back and actually then have a little kind of review and look at yourself. Skip through it and don't listen to me shiting on again for ages. But you'll see yourself actually doing the exercise and be like, right, am I in the most upright place that I could be? All right. And that's the main kind of goal of this, is to be upright, because you're not going to catch a snatch looking at the ground. All right. One more set before the real feckin' fun begins. And yet you should feel this kind of upper back traps kind of working. And even when you lock it out, you know, squeeze your triceps. Ask yourself what's working with your triceps. And it should kind of burn. It should be a little kind of a burner exercise. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference of people that are, you know, you're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with it. Now, this next exercise will never ever be comfortable for anybody. But again, you will get used to it more in time. Beautiful. Right, so again, that is our stats press. All right, very, very good one. Just even to get us more comfortable in the bottom of an overhead squat, it's strengthening your shoulders, and it's a great positional strength builder, even for posture. You know, you're fighting to be upright, you know, you're having to set your whole body. It's a very, very good one. Every time we snatch again, we will be creeping that in. So next week we'll do a jerk, and the week after we'll go snatch, and know that when it comes around, try to always think, being like, can I weight that up a little bit more? Will I get fucking a tin of beans and fucking get some sellotape and lash it on, just so I can try to challenge those muscles a little bit. All right. So do think about that for next time. But now we have another little exercise to go through. This is the hardest one. All right. I think we know what's coming. It's the single arm overhead squat. Now, the goal with this one is, again, don't look for rock bottom depth. All right. Again, I'm going to do it now with my 6 kilo dumbbell and show you as one good rep, and on my good arm. I can't even fucking do it on my bad arm. All right. So the goal is to just get as much movement as you can in your squat. If that's a quarter of the way down, that's where you work. That's where you'll get better. But shoulders, you have to think shrugged up and pull back, kind of like what we were doing in the warm up. Because you all can squat these weights. If I said bring it down and just hold it on a front rack and squat it, you're like, oh, that's grand. The only challenging thing now is kind of to extend that upper back and to have the stability in your shoulder. Your legs can all squat them. You know what I mean? You all throw a barbell on your back and you all can squat. But it's just a second there's something up here, the whole kind of connectivity through your whole body starts to change. So again, with your, where's my dumbbell? With your weight, as you do it, try to preference your hand to one side, all right? So you have a little bit of excess of weight. So there's a little bit more, and I'm going to have that behind my head. The excess of weight is behind my head. It's going to make it minimally easier to keep it back. Again, you're going to set yourself up in your squat. I'm going to lock it out. I'm going to shrug up, and I'm going to try to keep it back behind my head. I'm only going to squat down as low as I comfortably can and come back up. I'm not going to force it. If I bring it down to here, yeah, I can squat miles lower, but I'm not going to be able to do that with this. If that means you just work to here and you come back up, that's where you're going to work. All right. I want 3 squats on your right arm, 3 on your left arm. Right, again, you don't have to look for big depth. All right. And then I want 3 sets in total. After each set, again, take about 30 seconds of rest. All right. And again, this is the challenging one that we did before. Don't look for rock bottom depth. Just look to work where you can. Go on, Anadini. And again, don't force anything. If you feel, and when we start talking about weight on your feet, on the heels there, Jennifer. Yeah. If you feel like, you know, you're creeping into your toes, don't look for that extra depth. It's, you know, it's not going to help. Just look for that little bit of work. If you feel the weight's going to the toes, no, that's not a good place to be. And then you just come back up then. And then the next time you do this, you might look for that extra tiny bit of depth. And Anna. Thank you, Jackie, and your good mobility. Thank you. I can't even do it.
Oh, gets me nothing really though.
So guys, obviously that's quite tough. Take a little bit of a breather. And again, don't be afraid to actually go back and look at this video afterwards and be like, all right, where am I working? You know, and sometimes you might do it. And like I did one there and I just showed you my arm ended up creeping in front of my head. And I was like, fucking, I'm on camera. I'm going to fight to keep it back. But look to kind of see where that arm is. Because on a side view, remember, we want to see the ear. And then the second that arm is blocking the ear, you know that it's out in front. So look to keep it back and then don't go as low, because trust me, it will be better in the long run. All right. As we all know, this is actually quite tough. Nice, Shaz. Yeah, you're better off not going solo. That depth's better than your first set there. That was better. And I can't hear you, Carly. I don't know if the microphone's on. Say something there, Carly. The microphone might be working. But anyway, yeah, that's your first time trying it there, Carly. It is very, very tough. Don't look for depth. Look for keeping it back behind your head. That's the main thing with this exercise, is just to keep it back. So I wouldn't even go that low. Because trust me, when we did this, when did we do this? It's a couple of weeks ago was the first time we did it. I think all of you were kind of in shock over about how hard this exercise is. And it does take a while to kind of grease the groove with it. Even though it's mobile people in the gym. Remember, I think I told you the story that when we were in competition, CrossFit competition, it was me, Catherine O'Brien and Roberta. And I looked at the two girls and on mobile, I said, I'm not fucking doing that exercise because I'm going to die if I do it. That's better, Carly. That's a lot better. Yeah, you're fighting now to keep that back behind your head. And again, the more you actually do with this, like, you know, if you kind of creep them in, you actually get that kind of connectivity going down through your body and how you actually kind of work your shoulders. Miles better. Good stuff, Jenny. Good woman, Shaz. Don't force it. And again, you'll always find that you have that one side that's worse than the other. Legs.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, there we go.
My injured shoulder is my right shoulder. So that's why it just won't let me do that move. That's why my left look better.
That's all right. I only ever show you my right arm. I'm not going to show you my left arm doing this exercise. Because my right shoulder is my good shoulder. My left one's my little bit of a wobbly one. But yeah, guys, again, as I said to you, the last time we did this, and every time we snatch, I'm going to creep this exercise in. And for the couple of years that I've done this a couple of times now, there's massive changes in how you're doing it, and even just the comfortableness of you actually doing it. Now, it doesn't come easy. It's a very, very hard one to do. But again, the more we kind of keep creeping it in, you grease the groove, you will get better at it. All right. So next week, we are going to jerk, and we're going to do our jerk drills and our jerk weights again. I'll always try to creep in kind of one or two kind of extra things as best as I can, just to try to keep it kind of in some way fresh, because with weightlifting, there's only a couple of different exercises that we can do. But the likes of that single arm overhead squat, don't be afraid to creep a little random set in during the week. Like, let's say you're just after finishing a class WOD and you're just warm, you're physically warm. Creep in 3 sets of 3 and you will get more comfortable with it. But I can't stress it enough. The reason why it's hard for every single one of us is it's not legs. It's all about the shoulders, the upper back, and the thoracic. That's all it is, because it's just balancing it. But like, if I say grab a bar and do it, you have stability because there's 2. If you take one away, you're like, whoa, your whole body starts to change. So that's what you're challenging as well, is not just that, but it's the connectivity the whole way through the body. So again, I know it's a tough exercise, but we will creep it in again in 2 weeks when we snatch again. So next week is jerking. So again, have your dumbbells kind of ready. Do weight up. I will try to creep in 1 or 2 kind of weighted kind of jerks with your dowels. So do actually have it ready if you want to weight them up. And we will do some tall jerks and stuff with that, but do have your weights ready, because we will do some jerks with our dumbbells again. All right, guys, well done. And I shall chat to you later unless anybody has any questions. No, and I did say, I actually forgot to put it in my post. The next time snatch is coming up, jerk's easier because you're more upright, because you're in that kind of split. In 2 weeks when we snatch, if you know that overhead squat is going to come up, maybe spend 15 minutes kind of stretching out just before work, because you're just going to be able to do it a little better. So literally low, 4:45, couple of stretches that we always kind of do just to kind of get your shoulders going. You know, even that prayer stretch that we always do to kind of open up your upper back. Does anyone know that one? You know, you put your elbows on a box.
Oh yeah.
Press down. That's more to kind of open up that upper back and your lats. That would actually be a good one to try to do. All right, guys, well done. Weightlifting.
Thanks,
And
Dean.
then I shall chat to you during the week. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.